Unlike the metric system, there's no easy way to get around converting units in the imperial system. We're going to take a look at just imperial distances in this example. So that means inches, feet, miles, and yards. And we're going to take a look at how we can convert between any of those units. To do that, we're going to focus on the foot. So the unit of feet is kind of an intermediary between all the other distance units in the imperial system. So we can see here that all of these three other examples are all being converted into feet. And if we can remember that, then we can take a look at ways where we can even convert between the units on the left. So we could convert from inches to miles by passing through the number of feet that would be needed. We can also go backwards here. So instead of going from inches to feet, so 1 inch is 1 over 12 feet, or approximately 0.083 feet. What we could also say is that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. Here we could say that 1 foot is equal to 1/3 of a yard, or 0.3 repeating yards. And then we could say that 1 foot is equal to 1 over 5280 miles. Now you could also convert that into a decimal if you didn't want to use fractions. So 15280 is going to be 0.000189 miles. So we can see that this conversion here is not particularly useful for us. So we're going to stay with the fraction just because that decimal has a couple more points behind it. So it's going to be a little bit more inaccurate. So let's take a look at some examples here. So we're going to take 24 inches and we're going to convert that into a number in feet. So if we remember from before, we said that 12 inches is equal to 1 foot. So if we use our unit analysis, what that means is that we can take the number of feet and inches, and remember we're going to turn that into a fraction. So we want the feet on top and inches on the bottom, and we just said previously that 1 foot is 12 inches. So what this means is we're going to take 24, we're going to multiply it by 1, and then divide by 12. So 24 times 1 is going to be 1, divided by 12 is 2. So that means that 24 inches is 2 feet. 24 inches equals 2 feet. Let's go the other way now. So how does it work if we're going to go the reverse? We're going from the bigger unit to the smaller unit. So 1.5 feet. We're going to do our unit analysis, which means we have our fraction. Feet are on the bottom, inches are on the top. So 12 inches in 1 foot. So what this means is we're going to do 1.5 times 12, then divided by 1. So 1.5 times 12 is going to give us 18. So 1.5 feet is 18 inches. 1.5 feet equals 18 inches. Let's try a different unit now. So yards. So if you remember, 3 yards or 1 foot, 1 yard is 3 feet. So what that means is we're going to take 8 yards here. We're going to multiply by a fraction that has yards in the denominator, feet in the numerator. 1 yard is 3 feet. So that is essentially just 8 times 3, which is going to give us 24 feet. So 8 yards equals 24 feet. How about feet to yards? So 5 feet times our unit analysis here, which is yards and feet. 1 yard is 3 feet. So now we're going to get some kind of weird decimal or fraction. If you punch that into your calculator, 5 times 1 divided by 3, you're going to get 1.67, approximately 1.67 yards. You may also just get a fraction depending on what your calculator is set to, so you might get 5 over 3 yards. It's more meaningful to convert that into a decimal in this case because we have a hard time visualizing 5 over 3, but we have a much easier time visualizing 1.67. So what this means is 5 feet is approximately equal to 1.67 yards. Okay, so how about miles now? So we have 15,463 miles. So how many feet are going to be in a mile? If we remember from like the second kind of screen we saw, it was 5,280 feet make up 1 mile. So what we would have to do is 15,463 times 5,280. It's going to give us a huge number. So we're in the millions here. We have 81,644,640. So 15,463 miles is equal to 81,640 feet. And again, the exact same thing going the other way, 4,593 feet times, so now we have miles on top and feet on the bottom, 1 mile, 5,280. So in this case, we're essentially dividing 4,593 divided by 5,280. It's going to give us a decimal again. We're going to round off here just to 2 decimal places, so that's going to give us 0.87 miles. So 4,593 feet is approximately equal to 0.87 miles. So what if now we're going to a unit that isn't feet, or feet is no longer involved in our conversion? So that makes things a little bit harder, but all it does is we're just adding one extra step. So 100 yards to inches. First thing we're going to do is we're going to convert 100 yards into feet. So 100 yards, and if we remember, there's going to be 3 feet in 1 yard. So 3 feet in 1 yard. And that means 100 yards is 300 feet. We can now take this number and put it in to another equation, and we're going to just do this all over again. So we're going to take 300 feet. We have 12 inches in 1 foot, so 12 inches in 1 foot. And that means we're just doing 300 times 12. So that's 3,600 inches. So we could say that 100 yards is equal to 3,600 inches. Another way to do this would be to do it all in one go, which we can do as well, which we're going to do in this next example. So we're going to convert 6,289 inches into miles, but again, we're going to use feet as an intermediate here. So 1 foot in 12 inches, and then we're going to do this one more time. So instead of just solving this like we had done previously, we're going to add our miles component. So we have feet on the top left. So now we're going to put feet on the bottom and miles up here. So 1 mile is 5,280 feet. And if we do this all at once, we will be able to get our answer from inches to miles. So this is just a lot of division. 6,289 divided by 12 is 540 and some decimal places. Divide that again by 5,280, and we're going to get a small number, 0.099 miles. And that makes sense, right? Because a mile is a huge unit of distance. An inch is a very, very small unit of distance. So it makes sense to us that 6,289 inches is only going to be equal to approximately, because we are rounding here, so approximately equal to 0.099 miles.